Hello and welcome back to our next Darkest Dungeon part. This is part 19, I think. And back from whence we came, inside the courtyard. Where are we now? Oh, here we are. In this little corner here. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Or, you know, I think you can. You should be able to. I'm not going to touch that hive. You can use a torch on that hive, but that is for loot. And we need our torches to fight. And we need our shovels to clear blocked paths. Huh. You know, I forget where the, I don't think that there's anything between those two rooms, so we're just gonna continue our way on. Looking for that red key. If you don't give a character the blood, they will begin to weaken slowly over time. Right, we have a Chevalier. He must die. Chevalier. It inflicted stress. More stress.
A powerful blow.
Nice shot. Wrestling. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh, Jesus Christ. Those guys can hit for extremely high damage, and then afterwards, you'll take a bleed from them.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Ooh, not quite. And they can do a double stun on two heroes.
Exposed to a
Jesus.
killing blow.
Alright, so now it's time to reduce the stress on our highway.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Inspiration and improvement.
As you can see, we can very quickly melt the stress on one character if it's an emergency.
A momentary abatement. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
There's really nothing you can carry here except for precious gems. We don't have space for anything else. And quite frankly, these quests are very, very long. Is this the key? This looks awfully short. Maybe the key was down below. Can't remember from the last time I've been here. Oh, well, there ain't shit here. Thanks. Whew. We've got a hallway battle here. Perhaps there won't be very many stress enemies, and we can focus on stress recovery for a little bit. What the fuck? We're getting flagged on turn 1? Yes. I suppose it is a very small group of enemies, isn't it? Maybe they won't flag us if we kill an enemy. This will actually be an interesting opportunity to learn.
The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
So we killed one. Okay, no flag. Flag is removed. And what I mean by flagging is you get a notification by a character. Do not toy around with the enemy, otherwise they'll call for reinforcements. You're sitting here healing with an enemy that deals very little damage. They'll call in extra enemies to come help fight. And then your whole team takes a bunch of stress.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
I doubt that the key is here. Hey, another fight spawned right in front of us. Oh. No, 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 no. No slavering glue. Yeah, you definitely need to go. Okay, so what's our stun chance of this guy? This guy? We'll stun the Chevalier because we're not gonna kill him this turn. We're gonna kill the Slavering Ghoul next turn. Oh, shit! And this is what I meant about extremely high damage enemies that give you bleed effects. I'm gonna put a regeneration on this character, just in case his HP gets knocked too low and bleed ticks on his turn. So we're gonna use advantage here, because that's way too much bleed, and they're gonna need to apply another one if they want to stop us, if they want to kill us. Alright, so if I go for an attack here, I can make sure the Slavering Ghoul does not oh, shit. Right, so let's see how much damage our Vestal can do. 4 to 7 damage. Now, we have a restoration on our Highwayman here. We're in a very dangerous situation with him. His life is literally on the line right now. If we go for a heal, it's possible that the Chevalier will deal a very high critical damage hit and apply a bleed. If he didn't have this restoration effect on him, he would have to roll for death. But, because he does, even if he applies the bleed, we'll be okay. If we heal him now, he'll be at nearly full max HP. But the thing is, if we don't kill this enemy, then he could possibly get attacked twice, and then he might really die. So we're gonna go for the kill here. Excellent.
Her death by inches.
Okay, That subterranean skewer is so dangerous. It's really high damage and applies bleed.
The blood quickens.
We're gonna apply a restoration to counter this bleed. And give both of the characters a little healthy boost. Resist? Good. I believe the Chevalier counts as a champion enemy, even though it takes only one tile. Because, well, obviously you see how much damage they inflict, how powerful they are. You can't afford to have them.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Healing received. That's not a bad trinket to have. Unfortunately, we can't really put it anywhere. And it's not more valuable than the supplies that we currently have. I don't know if I said it before, but fun fact, the holy water used to actually damage heroes who were infected with Crimson Curse. But in one of the more recent patches, they've removed that, so you can safely use holy water on these heroes. Really like that healing charm, but you know what? The reality of it is, I can't have it. I mean, I could, but it would be dumb. There are more valuable items out there for now. I believe that here and here, these two empty spaces near the very beginning lead to dead ends, and will only serve to exhaust our heroes and supplies. Just like that whole bonanza we went through up here, all we did was just waste supplies. We didn't really get anything out of this. I was tempted to use a bandage in order to find some of the blood, but it's a waste. Bandages are crazy precious. You run out of bandages and you leave this download content area.
Destroyed.
That's just the way it is. Nice stun. Reduces stress and then also reduces the incoming stress by a percentage. And that does apply to his skill where he sucks the stress out of another hero, but he alleviates more than he loses. There we go. We need to absolutely prevent any attempt by our enemies to mark, stun, or bleed us. We have a 6 blight damage being applied here. We're going to continue to reduce stress. These spiders are very low damage as long as they don't get any crits or manage to mark us. A lot of the spider's damage is reliant on
Great is the weapon
getting a
that
mark,
cuts on
and
its
once they
own.
do that, the amount of damage they can inflict goes through the damn roof. Spiders in champion dungeons can inflict 33 damage on a single critical hit, plus blight. And they usually dogpile the one hero that is marked, so multiple crits in a row and then you roll for a blight, yeah, death. Gonna continuously buff our accuracy. Every little advantage we can get. Room curio. I think this may be the key. If it's not, then it's the other direction. The hell are all these spiders coming from?
Eradicated.
The only reason why this this party composition works is because of the skills and orientation that they have, the versatility of the classes, and the extreme damage that the Highwayman is able to put out by himself.
Continually on
So, using both the Jester and Flagellant, we're able to have a net gain of, stress via continuously hitting him with it. But if we need to and they dogpile someone else with stress, we can really batten down the hatches and make sure our entire party is secured. And just focus all of our stress deals on one character. Oh god, excuse me. I just had the hiccups for a second. Let's prevent that damage with a stun. No stun.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
And we're just gonna counter some of that damage with the restoration. I don't want to get marked, so we need to keep damaging the enemy. If you consistently get marked for stalling in every fight, it will summon the reinforcements instead of giving you a warning. Our Vestal has the highest stress increase out of all of our characters, so we want to keep her very low.
Annihilated.
I'll take those supplies. Oh, we actually don't even need skeleton keys in this content. Seeing the skeleton key actually reminds me to just say something about that, because I didn't mention that, and that might have been driving somebody crazy to say, oh, bring some fucking keys. You don't need any. Though, what I will do... no. I was thinking about swapping out some of these torches for emeralds, but that's okay. This is a very long quest. There's plenty of emeralds and stuff waiting. Oh. We can, use this. If only it cured the Crimson Curse. Alright, he's wasting away, so let's immediately feed him. He's waited too long. He will die if we don't. We got 9 vials of the blood, so we're burning through it pretty fast, but double Chevalier.
Impressive.
We need to erase these enemies as quickly as possible. We need to crowd control them and focus all of our damage into them. If the Chevaliers get crits on a single hero and focus them down, it'll be very difficult to save their lives. This is good. They're focusing on the Vestal, so we can change our tactics around. This party is very strong at changing their tactics depending on who's getting focused on. Where other parties, people get aggravated if the character gets focused too much. Because, well, obviously they can't change their tactics like this party can. So now that the Vestal is being focused down, we can either use the Flagellant to heal her, or have her start attacking with Judgment in order to inflict more damage on the enemies, and heal herself. And be very efficient with her turns. So she can keep attacking and healing.
Ringing ears, blurred vision. The end approaches.
We have a Blight on that character, and this situation isn't life endangering, so I'm probably going to use a regeneration on her.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. A decisive pummeling.
It's not life endangering, so we'll simply just counter the damage over time with a regeneration instead of using our supplies. And there's no possibility of it becoming life endangering. These two enemies cannot inflict enough damage to put anybody on death's door. If any enemies could, we would use our supplies without hesitation. I hope these very dangerous situations we've gotten into on this video helps everybody understand why I'm being so stingy about keeping all of my bandages, all of my holy water, all of my medicinal herbs, because you need them. Everybody's HP is topped off. Dodge. Our front 3 characters have all have different methods of self-defense upon being attacked. If our Flagellant gets focused down, he can immediately bring back massive chunks of HP to himself. He can counter damage over time by applying a restoration for several turns to other characters. He can also attack the front row with extremely heavy bleed, or the back row with slightly less damage and a slightly lighter bleed. And in both cases, he will debuff the bleed and make it easier to bleed again for any other attacks following up. As for our Highwayman, if he's getting attacked or focused down, we can use Duelist's Advance to shuffle forward. If he gets shuffled to rank 1, we can use Point Blank Shot to shuffle him back to rank 2. If we need the Flagellant to get back into rank 1 position. He can attack the back row, but if he's getting focused on, this Riposte will allow him to do extra attacks. Our Jester we've outfitted with extremely high dodge because the Jester is a fairly low HP hero, but he has high dodge to compensate. So we've capitalized on that. So enemies who try to attack the Jester, stress dealers or not, he will completely negate the attack with his dodge. So that's the Jester for you. And then our Vestal, if she's getting focused down, she can inflict damage on any rank while also healing herself repeatedly. So she can be very efficient. So we respond to the enemy offense with the proper offense. Okay. Finish this guy off, put him on death's door. Oh, my girlfriend, she's saying she loves me and to say goodnight. Love you. Alright, sorry about that. Oh man, they're teasing me with so many goodies.
Push on to the task's end.
For one torch, man? This looks roughly symmetrical. Kind of. We'll get rid of one torch. But just because, only for that Witch Doctor's Vial. It's a very high stun chance with no drawbacks, but it's only for the Witch Doctor. Get rid of that crumbling pillar. We can burn that for some stress relief. It relieves 30 stress, but we don't need it right now. I see a trap on the floor. 85, 75, 55, 45. The Jester actually has a lower chance than the Highwayman? Didn't know that. Time to eat. Alright, not a damn thing in this direction. I'm surprised we haven't burned through too much food, but we have been picking up some. So, it's not entirely fair to say that we burned through none. Because we have. Alright, let's get rid of these maggots. Bleed? Resist. Fully negated. Alright, this enemy, Slavering Ghoul, very dangerous. Oh, by the way, when our Flagellant gets put on Death's Door, he will heal all other characters. Same for when he also dies. He will heal everyone. Resists both. We'll fix that right away.
Pumps. The limbs obey.
Nice critical heal. Ooh, okay, that stun is gonna hurt. Ah! Take that critical bleed. Gonna get rid of this enemy. applying as many bleeds as we possibly can and debuffing his bleed resist. So our damage on the Flagellant will increase as a result of him being knocked below 40% life. And we will respond to that with bleed. Nice! Our Vestal managed to roll to go before the... Very nice.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
You know, if we pop a virtue and the Vestal gets inordinate exsanguination, that would be pretty cool. Since we only have one more inventory space full of torches, I will now begin to use them slightly more sparsely. This is the direction of where the freaking key thing, I think, is. Strange that it's behind the door, rather than being in front of it. Right. Okay. This thing, the Corpse Eater, can inflict Blight, so can these with Predigestion, but Blight is more damage than the rest of these skills. But since we're going for this Corpse Eater that has no protection, we're going to go for a Repulse. And we're going to finish him off with the Jester. We're going to do a Judgment, get that life back and deal some damage. And that Riposte will finish him off. That Gather the Blood the enemy uses will move him to rank 1, and we will start with... Oh, I thought the Highwayman was going to go first. Oh, he's 7 speed. The Jester is so fast. It'd be pretty crazy if we got a critical hit right here, but we don't.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
That is why we do everything with a glove.
Curious is the trap maker's art, his efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
ankle's broken, son. Oh, okay, that 50% stress needs to not happen anymore. Hey, chill out. Alright, first things first, we're gonna actually cure that plus 50% stress. Second thing, we're gonna apply another bleed to both of these enemies. That one's dead, the sycophant is not dead. Sycophant is dead, for sure. 8 bleed, 12 bleed, 12 HP. He's guarded by the manservant at rank 3. Now, this manservant, the transformed one, has a attack called Choice Cut, or something like that. I forget the exact name. And that can inflict a very high damage bleed attack, so we're going to keep everybody's HP as high as possible as a result of that. Close to the max as we can get. And they have 10 speed, 10 speed. Our characters all have 7s and whatnot. It's unlikely we're going to get the kill, but one of our characters might be able to go before the rest of these enemies, so we're gonna
A devastating blow.
go for the attack, because all of these enemies are enemies we can't afford to just ignore. Oh god. Gibbering Entourage. That's an attack or a skill that gives him a massive protection bonus, and it applies guard to all enemies of all ranks. So this guy is going to receive the damage for everybody. This is why you bring bleed.
The ground quakes.
They're going to make sure you deal no damage if you just try to go for straight up damage. Apply regeneration to counter some of that we just applied to our own character. Nice, we found a little bit of the blood.
This expedition at least promises success.
Now right here lies the red key. I'm not gonna actually grab it because I'm gonna have to discard something, and these rubies and sapphires, I'm trying to slowly stack them up as we go. But that's the location of the red key. The reason why I'm not going to grab it is because the level continues in this direction to the right. There's nothing over here in this direction. The red key is only needed for you to be able to travel backwards. And if you're wanting to go back here and farm all of that other stuff and look in other directions and whatnot. I didn't use a torch that battle, but I didn't want to. We're going to be a bit more choosy now that we have a now limited supply of torches. Hey! Curse can't get sick at all, because the Crimson Curse is a nuke for all other diseases. It will remove every other disease on the character. All of them. They're completely immune to it. You see, we actually have to go backwards to get into that room. So we're just gonna not do that. There's basically nothing in that room. It's like just empty. No curios, no nothing. And if there is, it's not significant. I'm gonna go for a riposte on this one.
Well struck.
Because these two corpse eaters may very likely attack our Highwayman. I'm gonna apply some more bleed again. We failed, but that's okay, because he's stunned. Alright, and we're gonna go for a point-blank shot, because it is very likely to kill the rank 1 enemy. Almost, but no cigar. And 8 damage, so he's gonna die from bleed. We should apply a regeneration to this hero, because both, or actually, let's apply a regeneration, just be safe about it. We could kill the other, but I believe our Vestal will roll, roll to go speed. Her speed will roll to go before this one. So we're gonna finish this guy off. That way there's no attack, and we'll heal the Highwayman next turn. And now, even if he does a max damage critical, he's not gonna die. Whereas before, if we would have healed him, the enemies would have gotten off 2 attacks, which, if they dogpiled our Highwayman, he would have died. Or could have died. We're gonna do a heal. Double critical heal.
A time to perform beyond one's limits.
Executed.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud. A hideous mutation. Unnatural and abhorrent.
Oh, shit. No.
The will to fight falters. Precision.
Nice.
And
Get that crit
power.
lead? Awesome.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Alright, Dismas, don't skip your... I'm sorry, I keep calling him Dismas. Highwayman, don't skip your next turn, alright? That's minus 12 accuracy. I don't like that because you can see our chance to hit is reduced to 82%. And I want every advantage we can get. Yes!
Executed.
Stack that bleed. Alright, good. Bloodlust. Now a well-timed Bloodlust will allow us to destroy this Crocodilian. We're gonna buff everybody up with holy water to make sure no one gets bleed out. No stun. Heavy hit. Oh, thank God. That hit does a lot of damage. We are getting some crazy critical damage. It's because of the battle ballad. Now, we're gonna probably have to do Dirk Stab here. He is bleeding for so much. Oh! And now you guys see why bandages are absolutely paramount. This is not something you want to sustain through. Cure that bleed. Wish that cat. Yeah, let's keep up the pressure and keep the holy water moving. The amount of bleed damage that this team is doing, and he's taking this bleed every time he takes an action. So, oh, there we go, critical heal.
Such
Jesus
a terrible
Christ.
assault cannot be left unanswered.
Come on, finish him. That's all she wrote. Now, because our Vestal's health is pretty low, I'm gonna try and even her out just a little bit and apply a restoration before the battle is over. This is our highest stress character, a Highwayman, but I think that's perfectly fine. We want to reduce the stress on our Vestal to decrease the chances that they're gonna focus her down. Sharpen literally.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Greases palms, builds empires, and instigates murder. Gold. Sapphire. Blue, like strangled dreams. Ruby. Red, like blazing lust. Very nice. Keys do not work on this. You just open it up and you get the reward. Which we are going to get right now, very eagerly. Holy Jesus. What the fuck is that? What is that? Oh, no, I'm just kidding. That's a ridiculously good trinket for one of my favorite combinations of items for the Highwayman. I believe we got a chance to see his other locket earlier or something. It was like plus 10 accuracy and plus something for crit. But the fat plus 45% chance to virtue for having both of these trinkets lets our Highwaymans proc virtues more often. So we're going to actually exchange this for the 2 food willingly, because we may run across some dinner tables that have that we can use medicinal herbs on to cure some of the disease for the food that's on the table, so we can get the food. seeing a ridiculously long and suspicious hallway, I think that's a perfect time to cut this video. We'll continue in the next part, and I'll start uploading for everyone to see. Thanks everybody for watching. Darkest Dungeon.